Alright guys, I have gotten many requests to take a look at Tuxedo OS. And if all you're doing is looking at the top layer, it's based on Ubuntu and it uses KDE Plasma. So what stands it apart from just being a rebranded Kubuntu? Well, let's find out, because there's quite a bit. We're going to start off looking at the distro watch entry. And if we look at Tuxedo's entry on DistroWatch, Tuxedo OS is an Ubuntu-based distribution developed in Germany by Tuxedo Computers. They make computers, and they put their own branded Linux distro on it, called Tuxedo OS. Designed and optimized for the company's own range of Linux-friendly personal computers and notebooks. There you go. The distribution uses KDE Plasma as a preferred desktop. Some of the differences between Ubuntu and Tuxedo OS include custom boot menu, Tuxedo Control Center, Calamara's installer, simplest installer in the business, and pretty limited on what you can do, but it's certainly easy. Availability of Lutris Open Gaming Platform. Is that just Lutris? Because if it is, you can install that on any Linux. But for it to come out of the box is pretty cool. The preference of Pipewire Audio Daemon over Pulse Audio. Okay, Ubuntu actually prefers Pipewire now. They default to Pipewire, so that's not a big deal. Removal of Ubuntu Snap Daemon and Snap packages. That is a big deal. That's a big deal to a lot of people. And various other tweaks and enhancements. So far so good. We're definitely not a rebranded Kubuntu already. Let's take a look at the tuxedocomputers.com. And this is what we see. Nice little slider. It's a pretty nice little laid out website. So Ryzen, Intel Core, they use GeForce, 3-in-1 convertible. So I have a problem with this slide in that I have a 2-in-1 Lenovo, and I can do exactly the same thing. If you're looking at the 2-in-1, I can do the same thing. I can fold it like that, set it on the table, which I often do with the game I made for the little ones. And they can play the game with the touchscreen part. And then it folds all the way into a tablet. So that is called a Lenovo 2-in-1. Given their example, I can also call it a Lenovo 3-in-1. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too picky. This is the next slide. Thin, light, mobile, elegant. That is nice looking laptop for sure. Keep on going. There's some gaming information. All AMD gaming laptop. That Lenovo 2-in-1 that I have is an all AMD running OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. It has AMD graphics, AMD Ryzen, and it's fabulous. It runs Linux absolutely fabulous. So, they're, in my opinion, they're using top-notch hardware for their Linux systems. So, yeah, I'll give them that. We'll keep on going. Ryzen, nice little mini. And I think we're starting over. So if I scroll on down, I'm not going to look at all of this. But one thing I do want to show is down here, the Tuxedo Control Center. The reason I'm showing this from their website is because I am going to run it in a virtual machine, and I don't know how much of this control center is going to accurately display in a virtual machine. But we're about to find out. So here we are in our virtual machine. Let's go ahead and get this started. This screen right here does not impress me. Sorry to say, it just doesn't. It looks... I don't hate it, because I'm pretty sure what they're going for is kind of a retro look, so I don't hate it. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say about it. Let's go ahead and get it started. This splash screen is beautiful. I love it. Top notch. Tuxedo powered OS powered by KDE Plasma. This is Calamara's installer. It defaults to Deutsch. I need American English, thank you. And next, New York. It did find my location successfully. Good, kudos. So English and standard, yes. Okay, so this part's a little weird. I love this, and I don't love this at the same time. A lot of the distros right now are trying to decide, do we default to X to make sure that everybody has a working session, or do we default to Wayland because X is going away and it's basically deprecated? I love this because Tuxedo's given the option to the user. I get to decide, do I want to run an X session or not? I think the implementation could be a little simpler because I can't click on this. I can't click on this and change it. I actually have to click it, hold it, and slide it. I don't hate that, but I think it should be an active button. You can either click it and slide it, just like I did, or you can click it and change. Now, at that time I clicked it and changed it, but now it won't change back just by clicking it. Okay, so if I click this off, now X11 is turned off, and I go into advanced settings, there's my Wayland option. This should show both of them at once, or when that X11 slides to the left, change it to Wayland. Even change this part to say this now, instead of having both of these, because I don't know what happens if I leave X11 and Wayland both turned off. What happens if I leave them both turned off? Do we want to find out? Of course we do. So let's find out. Okay, so I'm guessing it probably defaulted to X11. So let's find out. Go to System, let's go to Info Center. What do we have running? X11. So if they're both turned off, it defaults to X11. I guess that's a safe bet. It is what it is. Now, that first part was just setting up your system so that you can get into a graphical environment that you can use to install the operating system. Now we're going to install the operating system. We haven't done it yet. So I like that too. Even before you get to the point of installing the operating system, you can select to run a Wayland session. I love it. I kind of wish the implementation was a little better, but it's still, the idea is wonderful. So let's go into install Tuxedo OS, and we get the screen again, but it's keeping my English that I selected before. We're going to erase the entire disk. Swap on here doesn't matter. And we're going to go ahead and hit next. Okay, now I have done a lot of installs in the virtual machine that you've seen me do, and I always use this very simple password. Tuxedo OS will not let me use the simple password I always use, and I don't like that. If it's going to be my system and it's going to be in my house, I should have the option to set the simplest password in the world. If I could click this X and make that warning go away and it says, okay, I gave you the warning, you said go ahead and do it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. That's what I want. I don't want to have to use something else because I shouldn't have to. We'll give it a character and a number, and we'll end it with the same character and a number. So now it's okay. It's still a very simple password, but I have proceeded beyond their check. And I'm good with logging in without password. Hit next. So my current standard is X11. We already saw that if you turn them both off, and I can't click it, but if we turn them both off, it will default to X11. I'm going to go ahead and set it for Wayland. And let's see if it does do a Wayland install. Click install and install now. So here we go. I'm going fast forward or possibly even skip all of this. So I'll see you on the other side. So that didn't take long at all, and click done to restart now. Let's check first thing that it did go into Wayland. That booted up pretty fast. That was nice. Let's go ahead and change my display. It's to 19 by 10. Apply, hit keep. Now we're more comfortable. And we are in a Wayland session. Awesome. KD Plasma 615. KD Framework 660, Qt version 6.7.2, kernel version 6.11.0. Nice. Those are good. Before we do too much more, let's go ahead and do the update. The update does update through Discover. And we have 33 updates. Let's see if there's anything groundbreaking. Got some pipe wire. Tuxedo drivers, no plasma. Okay, let's go ahead and update that just because we should. See if I remember my made up password here. Okay, that wasn't too difficult. I guess one thing I would like to look at is what is the theme that is applied. Let's see. Colors and themes. We have Tuxedo Twilight. So I usually use Breeze Dark on just about everything. This Tuxedo Twilight is not bad. They do have a Tuxedo Dark. So I'm going to compare the Tuxedo Dark to the Breeze Dark that I usually use. So given the same screen, let's try the Breeze Dark. It's not much different. It's not much difference at all. The Breeze Dark is a little more towards the black, and the Tuxedo Dark is has a little bit of brown in the darkness, and a little bit lighter. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it back to Breeze Dark just because that's what I like. Close that out. The updates are done. It doesn't say anything about needing to restart, so we're gonna continue on. Now right here, bottom right, is the Tuxedo Control Center. We do want to look at that. Tuxedo Control Center, and it's kind of what I figured, you know, as being a virtual machine, it's not going to connect. But we have dashboard, we have profile, so we can set the profile that you want, default. This is all written in not English. Oh, English. Okay. Why wouldn't it have done that already? Because I picked English on the install. It should have picked up on that. Anyway, so system monitor, profiles, default is full performance at the expense of more noise and higher temperatures. That is the default. And then cool and breezy, power save extreme, Tuxedo defaults. You can actually edit profile to change behavior of the defaults. And then new profile. So you can actually make your own custom profile. That's cool. That's pretty good. Change password, shut down timer. See what that looks like. This sets a one-time shutdown time. It will be automatically cleared on the next boot or when selecting delete time below. Okay. Keyboard black light. Okay. Webcam, none available. Tuxedo Aquarius. Control Center could not find your Tuxedo Aquarius. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so that is the control center. And I'm sure on hardware that a lot of that's going to come in handy. And especially the fact that you can set profiles to your desired speeds and how much you want to push the system. So that's good. I like that. And the other thing that really set it apart from Kubuntu, it doesn't have snaps. But let's see if it has Flatpak. So what we're going to do is console, and we're going to compare a snap list, snap not found, to Flatpak list. There were none there, but there was no error saying Flatpak not found. So Flatpak is active, installed and active by default. So that is very cool. What can I search? Let's do Flatpak search Kdenlive. There it is. So it is installed and it does have FlatHub as a default. That is great. I like it. I really like this so far. I mean, some of the things that I'm saying negative about it are just a lot of that is just nitpicking. And that's kind of what I'm supposed to do because I'm reviewing it. But it's not bad. Okay, so just real quick, I went ahead and fired up the Kubuntu 24.10 virtual machine that I have running. And it looks like everything's matching. The Plasma version 6.1.5, framework 6.6.0, Qt version 6.6.2, and the kernel version 6.11.0-8 is, as far as I remember, all the same. So let's flash over and have a quick look at that again. And go System Info Center 615.66.672.611. So it's not pulling in the kernel yet. Look at that again. The 672 is what I want to look at. It's Qt version 662 on Kubuntu. And on Tuxedo, it's 672. Kernel version 611.0. Not sure how to. That's -8 and that's -102.007. So I'm not sure about the kernel version. The Qt version on Tuxedo OS is actually more current. So that is interesting. So having seen that, it makes me wonder how much Ubuntu is left in the Ubuntu based distro that is Tuxedo OS. Doesn't look like a lot to me. So let's figure that part out. I'm gonna fire up Discover. We're gonna go into sources right here at settings and look at the sources. So we definitely have flathub.org installed. That's good. Vendor firmware updates, vendor directory. That's automatic. So right here, Tuxedo, Debian, Jammy. Debian Jammy, what? Interesting. They're pulling in from Debian. And I'm not seeing anything here that says Ubuntu necessarily. Yes, it's based on Ubuntu, but it's still coming from tuxedocomputers.com. So they are making their own repositories based on Ubuntu. Very interesting. And jammy at that. Because 24.10 is Onyx. What was it? Yeah, don't remember. But okay, settings, integrate snap applications, missing backends. Okay. So Discover is looking for the integration of snap applications into Discover. Interesting. And you can install that by the way it looks. Dependency resolution failed. Interesting. So in this case, they should figure out how to get rid of this. If it's going to fail, which it did. They should figure out how to get rid of that. And again, another minor thing, but you're a professional OS. It's got to be tight. And I also wonder how much of this is different in their hardware installations of their Tuxedo OS. Is there any differences? Is this the same thing that gets installed on their hardware? Or is this something that's kind of a remnant of the free Tuxedo OS offering? I don't know. So I guess kind of last but not least, let's look at the default applications that are installed. Under development, we have Kate. Under games, Mahjong, K-Mines, K-Patience, Sudoku. I'm actually, to me, it's interesting that Lutris isn't here. So let's see if it's here. Nope, get Lutris. So you can install it easy enough. But the way that I read, oops. The way I was reading the DistroWatch entry made it sound like Lutris was installed by default. It is not. So graphics, GwenView, Ocular Scanlight, Internet, Firefox, KDE Connect, KTorrent, Thunderbird, Multimedia, Eliza, Camoso, VLC Media Player, Office, LibreOffice, and Ocular, Settings, System Settings Only, System, Discover, Dolphin, KDE Partition Manager, and Wallet Manager, System Monitor, Tuxedo Control Center. System Monitor's pretty darn good. Show you a lot of things going on. This is a KDE Plasma System Monitor. So I like that. And then Tuxedo, we got Control Center, we got Web FAI Creator. The easiest way to prepare a USB pen drive for Tuxedo's own fully automated installation. Fully automated? Interesting. I wonder if, so just guessing, you can take a snapshot of what your system is, use that to put it on a USB drive, and install this particular system onto another system exactly like it. That's what it sounds like. Under Utilities, Arc for archiving, Emoji Selector, Kate, Kcalc, Kfind, Kwrite, Nextcloud Desktop. So that's very cool. Nextcloud is installed by default. Folder sync. Very cool. Spectacle, and that same Web FAI. And that looks like all of the default installed applications. Overall, I rate this very good. It doesn't blow me away. It doesn't make me go wow. But what does make me go wow is that this is what is on their hardware they're selling, and I like it. I like it a lot. It would make me more confident in their hardware, having a very nice operating system like this running. But again, it doesn't blow me away, but I do like it. So that is all for this video. Please like and subscribe if you think I'm worthy. And until next time, thanks for watching.